Welcome back, YouTube, to part 4. Today we are going to work on fuel system. We're going to try to get that all buttoned up. I ordered up a oil bottle off of Amazon. This is just like a little 2-stroke gas tank, but that'll work good. And then I've got the mower gas tank there that I've already built the bracket and stuff for. It goes right here. I got to build a heat shield today, or a belt shield here, with some steel that I found. This will go in here, something like that, in front of that gas tank, to when inevitably we start breaking belts, we're not going to slap holes in the sides of the tank. And then I'm going to put the oil bottle something like here, something like that. I'm not sure yet. I still got to figure that one out. But I did get the carburetor cleaned and I did get it running. And we did do a burnout, which I will put in here. Alright, here's aftermath. Working on airing out the shop right now. Yes, it does do burnouts. It does them well. I mean, it could be a little bit more violent, but then again, it's got 10-inch wide tires on the rear. What do you think of that? Yeah, the tires seem to hop, but that is because they're so freaking wide that as the tire grips, the whole frame starts to bend, and then it breaks free, and then it drops down again. So I'll get that figured out. More than likely, it's just going to do that while we're doing burnouts. And so be it. As you can see, I made her legal with my slow-moving sign, which probably doesn't make it actually legal, but it looks cool. It blends that in nicely. It makes it look pretty good back here. And not to mention, we are going to put some taillights back here yet when we're done. And proving the drivetrain is good enough to do burnouts. I mean, look, it left marks. This tire over here is a little, I think it's more inflated. Yeah, this one's got more air in it than this one does right now. I got to equalize those. I just don't care at the moment because I'm not driving it yet. I also am hoping to get these spindles all welded up. As you can see, they're currently held together with some hose clamps and spaced out with washers, so I'll put a more permanent spacer in here and weld it right to the shaft so that that doesn't move around. And then we can get the steering all finalized, get all these bolts tightened up. I'm going to pull this hood off here in the next clip and go through getting this all straightened out and stuff. I think I'm going to cut these holes into slots possibly where these 2 bolts are and just use 1 bolt to slide back and forth, but we'll see what I come up with. I'm sure I'll figure it out. And then hopefully we can get the wiring in and possibly take it for a test drive, but we'll see about that. We have to get those spindles done first, and those are going to take a while. Alright, I will bring you back when something else happens. Alright, here's what I came up with a solution for mounting that hood. Found some brackets. These were old couch pieces for a recliner. And drilled a 1/4-20 bolt in it, and then was able to pick up the 2 M6 holes here, which I re-drilled and tapped 1/4-20, and they seem to be just fine. I was able to use more of the furniture bolts, so I could use a flathead screw so I can get this pretty flush so that it won't affect that hood. I got all these tightened up now. Everything under here is nice and tight. Good to go. I just need to get spindles done, but those don't involve the hood, so I'm going to get the whole hood system back together again before I bother with those. Alright, I'll bring you back when something else happens. Okay, I just got done making this little bracket. out of some flat stock, and I got these other ones made to help support the hood. Now everything's aligned. See how that's all bolted together with a nice big washer. This is super rigid now, this front piece is. And I'm currently working on mounting up the gas tank. I got this made as my belt guard shield. This will go in here like this, and the tank goes right behind it, which you will see in the next clip. Alright, as you can see, got that bracket all put in there. Ended up having to put a spacer on that side, but oh well, it still works. And now my tank don't move at all. I also did put a little piece of rubber down in here where it was touching the frame so that it doesn't rub a hole through the tank. Everywhere else it's plastic on plastic. And as far as the bracketry goes, I don't think the brackets are going to be a problem as far as vibration goes, although I will end up still putting rubber around the whole tank. Probably take and cut up an old inner tube and wrap the whole tank in it, and then put the bracket back on. But for now it's good enough. Right up there, right up front. So that way, if this belt breaks, it won't annihilate the side of that tank. I'd rather not replace the tank and the belt every time the belt snaps. And then the other bonus is, now you can see where the fuel level is. In this case, I just got like a cup in it right now. But next up, we're going to work on trying to figure out where and how we can get that oil jug mounted in here where it'll look good and work good. Bring it back then. Alright, I figured out a mount for the oil bottle. Opted to put it here, just so that it'd be nice and tidy with the thing. And then there's also a good amount of distance between it and the exhaust, so I'm not too worried about melting anything anymore. And I will use these bolts once I put the shroud on to hold that line up. And then as far as fuel goes, I gotta get another clamp, and then I'll clamp there, and then it comes around this corner, and I'll put some heat shield on it because it runs within 2 inches of the tank, and that way it'll also blend it in. Then I gotta go in here, and then I got a primer bulb in place, and then the two lines merge and they come up and go into their places. And the nice part about the now she's primed, ready to run. That should hide quite decently. Here, if I shove this cable back down in here for now. I will probably end up cutting that cable. I'm not sure yet. We'll close our hood. As you can see, this, mind you, the handlebar is bent. Here's our indicator line here. We're pretty dang close to being right on center, within 1/4 of an inch, which I'm happy with. And you can see the fuel lines come right around the side there. And this will get covered up with black heat shrink or heat tubing, heat protective tubing. So will this one here. I just got to find it. I don't know where it went. And there's the front of it. And then I've still got to mount this up. This will go something like this. You can see now the carburetor's pretty centered up, which works for me. See if I can prop this up in here quick. Alright, that's what it's going to look like. I am still going to cut the hood here. I got a little bit more room I can bend that down on. You can see now we got the front all nice. Starting to look a lot like a lawnmower. And then over here, I'm either gonna cut this tube and make it a little bit smaller or whatnot, but I'm intending to put this right on the front of this guy here, something like that. And that's going to look good. Give you a good point to pick it up from, be able to move it around with. And we'll probably put a plate across the front of that, or some mesh or something like that. Make it look a little bit more badass. Oh, well, that fell. Yeah, she's coming along really good. I am going to buy a clutch cover to put over that. I had to put the one on that other 338. And so I'll have to buy one to replace it. But that's all I got for you this time. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. This is Crazy Builder 141 signing off. Have a good day.